Hi guys, Mrs. Millison. Okay, today we're going to start Unit 5, and we're going to learn about classes and objects. Okay, we've already talked about this when we were in Unit 2, but we're going to dive a little deeper in Unit 5. Okay, this first part, 5.1, is anatomy of a class. So let's go through this inventory class that I've already created, and we're just going to talk about the pieces of it today, and then in every other video after this, I'm going to build this from scratch. Excuse me. Okay, so this is my inventory class. So that's the class name. I'm going to use it because I need to create lots of items for my inventory. Okay, say I have a store. Now I don't want to just do a single like string and just have item name. Okay, because I have to attach other stuff to that. I need to know the quantity, the price. I need to know other stuff besides just the item name. So I want to build a whole class for each inventory item. So all the characteristics that I want to record for each item are called my instance variables. So these are the attributes, the fields, the properties, the characteristics of each object in my class. You see these different description, these different words to describe this, so I want to get them all in there. Here. Instance variables are always private. Okay, that way nobody else or nobody working in here can modify them because we don't want them modified because we're going to reference these variables all over the place. So if anybody gets in here and modifies these, that's not good. So they're always private. Okay. Okay, so once I establish what variables I want my class to have, or so I want each object to have, I'm done building those. Okay, so now what do I need to do is I need to use constructors. I need to create constructors to help build all my inventory objects. Okay, I want to create, the teddy bears I'm going to sell, the books I'm going to sell, the, I don't know, I'm trying to think, the pencils I'm going to sell. Okay, so I need to use something called constructors. And constructors are used to create all the objects. Okay. Oops. Okay. And remember, objects are also called instances of the class. Okay, so my objects will be instances of my inventory class. Okay, my multiple inventory objects. Okay, so constructors, let's look at our constructors. So I have 3 constructors here. 3 constructors. Whoops. I always do that. So you can have multiple constructors, that's fine. That's called overloading, that's fine. But each constructor has to have a different signature line here. So you'll notice our constructor always says public and then the class name. So it's just public and the class name. Okay, there's no variable type or anything like that. All of my constructors do have parameters, okay, because I am customizing something every time I create an object. Okay, every time I create an inventory object. This one, all I'm customizing is the item's name. So whatever name I put in there, that'll be the object's or the inventory item's name. The quantity will be set to 0, the price will be set to 0, and it's not going to be on sale. It'll be false. The second constructor, I'm going to set a few more. Actually, I'm going to set a lot of items, a lot of variables, a lot of the instance variables. I'm going to set the name, I'm going to set the quantity, and I'm going to set the unit price. The only thing that's going to be defaulted is the on sale status will be false. Okay. For this third constructor, all I'm going to customize is the item's name and the unit price. Okay. The quantity is always going to be at 100. Maybe I buy from a certain supplier that they always send me 100 of everything. And then, of course, the on sale will be set at false because I'm just getting the stuff and nothing's going to be on sale yet. Okay. All right. So these are our constructors. We're going to use these to build our different objects. Okay. Our different instances of our inventory class. Okay. All right. So the next part, besides our instance variables and our constructors, are our methods. Now, methods are behaviors or what the behaviors of the objects or what the objects can do. Okay, so there's different, let's look at our methods. I got a lot of methods here. Okay, our methods are going to be public. Okay, sometimes methods have a return type. So this method will return a string. This method will return an int. This method will return a double and a boolean. This method's not going to return anything. This is a void return method type. All it's going to do is manipulate one of my variables or the value of one of my variables. So I've got a lot of void methods, okay? This group of methods right here, where they just say get item name, get quantity, get price, and get sales status, and I made those names up, okay? I don't have to be stuck to anything. I made those names up. These are called getter or accessor methods. So getter or accessor methods. And all they do is they go and get one of the instance variables for our object. So this one will return the item's name. So whatever object I attach it to or I run it with, it's going to give me that item's name. Whatever inventory item I attach get quantity to will get me how many of that item I have. And get price will tell me the price, and get sales status will tell me whether it's on sale or not. Okay? So these are just ways to grab values, grab individual instance variables from an object, okay? Or the value of its instance variable. Okay, these down here are called setter or mutator methods. What they do is they change the value of a variable. Okay, so this one, it's going to take my quantity and it's going to change it to a new quantity, okay, that I'm going to specify in the parameter when I run the method. Okay, now you notice these are void because I'm not actually creating any new variable, any new item from these methods to attach to a variable. I'm just simply changing the value of one of the instance variables that's already in one of the objects that I created. Okay, so this one I'm going to set a new price, so it's going to take the price of the instance variable and change it to the new price. Oh, well, I'm adding it. I'm increasing my quantity and I'm increasing my price. Okay. Let's see. Here I'm decreasing the price. Okay, so this one actually asks for a percent to be as the parameter. So I'm going to calculate how much the price has to go, or the price has to go down. So I'm going to take that percent of the price, and I'm going to subtract that amount from the price to give me my new price. Okay, and we're going to do all these in the coming up videos. Okay, so here's another void method where I'm decreasing the quantity. Okay, so I have my numbers sold, the item of numbers sold. So I'm going to take my quantity. I'm going to decrease my quantity by the amount that I sold. Okay. All right, I've got some more here. This is a method that I have to set the sale price. So if my quantity is between 20 and 30, I want the price to go down by about 20%. So I want the sale price to be about 80% of the current price. Okay. Or if the price is less than, or if my quantity is less than or equal to 20 items, I want my price to be cut in half. I'm going to sell it for 50%. And then I'm going to turn my sale status to true because now these items are on sale. Okay. So this is got a nice little if-else statement inside my method. Okay. I have another method here. Now this one will yield me a string. Okay. So this is just checking the inventory, okay, the number of items I have. So I created this stock info string, which will be returned at the end, okay? And if the quantity of the item equals 0, it's going to tell me that that item's out of stock. Or it's going to say I have an inventory of that many items, okay? So this is a mutator. Well, it's not really a mutator. This is more like a getter because I'm not modifying anything, but I'm returning something based on an if-else statement. Okay, so it's got to do some evaluations. Okay, this last method down here is called string to string, and this is a built-in method in Java. You have to build the return statement, but the string to string will allow us to print it'll allow us to print as much as we want about each object. So I wanted to print the quantity, item, the price, and whether it was on sale or not, because those were my instance variables for my object. So I always put that in there. This isn't mentioned till, I don't know, section 5.4, which is accessor methods, but I'm mentioning it now because every time I build a new class file and I create my instance variables and my constructors, this is the first method I write so that I can print my objects, that I don't have to worry about creating any other print methods for it. Okay? Okay, so that is my anatomy of my class. So again, it's mostly instance variables, which are characteristics of your objects, constructors, so you can create objects, and then you have as many or as little methods that you want so that you can write code so that your objects can have behaviors, okay, so they can do things. Things can be calculated from them. You can modify values, anything you want to do. And your methods will be very unique to the type of characteristics of your class, okay? And you'll see lots of examples of these as you go through this unit. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. I'm looking at my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I think that's it. I will see you next time for the next video where we talk about constructors.